Hello everyone and welcome to the program Talk Sport here on Global Television. I am Samuel Odi. Many thanks for joining on today's edition of the program. And is it fair to say, Happy New Month to you all. This is the first time I'm seeing you all in the month of November. An exciting month and also a month filled with lots of goodness, prosperity and lots of things are embedded in this month of November. And also talking about things embedded in the month of November, a whole lot of sporting activities will be happening within this period locally and internationally, as well as the festive season is upon us. Lots of actions will be happening in the world of sport as well. And majorly, we'll be bringing you a whole lot of those conversations here on Talk Sport. We saw lots of actions. We saw actions over the weekend. We saw some yesterday where Sunderland and Everton settled for a 1-1 draw last night. And also today, we have a whole lot of actions coming up in the UEFA Champions League. Last night, in the world of basketball, we saw where lots of actions happened. Milwaukee Bucks winning away from home, defeating Indiana Pacers, and also we saw Detroit Pistons also in action. We saw Chicago also in action. There are a lot of actions we saw yesterday. Houston Rockets, Kevin Durant was also in action. All of that, we saw them happening. Minnesota Timberwolves were in action yesterday in the NBA Emirates Cup that is currently ongoing and also the regular season as well. And all of this will contribute and be calculated ahead towards the teams that will make it through to the playoffs. So we'll be starting from the home front as always, as Nigerians boxing contingents depart for Saudi Arabia. Team Nigerians boxing contingents has officially departed the shores of the country for the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia ahead of the 6th edition of the Islamic Solidarity Games taking place from November the 7th to the 21st, 2025. The team forms a vital part of Nigeria's contingent at the multi-sport event, which will gather athletes from across over 55 nations globally. Nigeria's participation reflects the nation's commitment to expanding its global sporting profile and using sport as a tool for unity, national pride, and youth development. Chief Mission Director General of the National Sports Commission, Honorable Bukola Olukbade, described the Riyadh Games as a crucial aspect of Nigeria's strategic sports development plan, emphasizing that the event serves as both a test of preparation and a pathway towards greater international success, including at the 2028 Olympic Games in Los Angeles. He reaffirmed the National Sports Commission's commitment to ensuring that Nigerian athletes receive the necessary support to excel on global stage. This is more than just another international competition, he says. It is a vital stepping stone for our athletes towards Olympian ambition, Honorable Bukola Olukbade said ahead of the team's departure. He says, our team is prepared, focused, and hungry for success. We carry the hopes of the nation with us to Riyadh. And looking at this, we'll be expecting to see a very, very good performance, just like we've seen in years before now, as the Nigerian team has maintained a strong presence at the Games since the inaugural edition in 2005. Over the years, the country's athletes have recorded success across various sporting categories. The contingent is led by an experienced coach and supported by technical staff dedicated to achieving peak performance levels at the competition. As the competition gets set to begin in Riyadh, all eyes will be on the Nigerian contingent to deliver a performance that reinforces the country's reputation as one of Africa's leading sports nation. So, you can see how hungry these individuals are on the screen, and we're expecting to see them perform very, very well, excellently in Saudi Arabia. And then talking about Saudi Arabia and the Saudi Games, Ikekwerechi is the one who is leading the Nigerians contingents to the Saudi Games. Nigeria's athletic team for the 2025 Islamic Solidarity Game has been unveiled on the event's official website, with African champion and Commonwealth Game medalist Chukwu Ebuka Ikekwerechi leading a 25 athletes contingent determined to make a strong statement in Saudi Arabia. The Games officially, the 6th edition of the Islamic Solidarity Games, will be staged from November the 7th at the Prince Faisal bin Sports City Stadium, a stadium with a 22,000 capacity venue set to host some of the contingent's finest, the world's finest contingents and athletes. Organized by the Islamic Solidarity Sports Association, the event marks a return to its regular 4-year cycle after 2021. Edition in Konya, Turkey was postponed to 2022 due to the pandemic. And then later on, Nigeria has a modest record in the, looking at history now, Nigeria has a modern record in athletes at the Islamic Solidarity Games, having won 3 silver and 1 bronze medal in 2017, the only edition where it reached the podium in track and field. Overall, Nigeria has won 11 medals in the game's history across various sports activities. Ike Ekwerechi, African record holder, is expected to spearhead Nigerians' medal charge in this competition. And he is a winner. Ike Ekwerechi knows how to win. He's a African record holder as he stands down in shot putting. And he is very experienced when it comes to leading and also winning and doing it better where it counts the most. As an African record holder, there is no other person fit to lead this team. In part of those, I'll be going to participate for sure. So we'll see how this outing would be for these athletes. So now let's talk football. Global television is very, very big when it comes to grassroots football development. And then now we're going to bring up some conversations around Gwagwalada Football League 2025 as it enters the second round as 8 teams advance to Super 8 stage, which is very, very interesting to see that grassroots football development has taken a significant turn towards improving sports development in Nigeria and also taking a whole lot of athletes and footballers off the streets. This is giving them a sense of belonging. Now let me bring you up to speed with the conversation. The 2025 edition of Gwagwalada Football League now celebrates its 20th anniversary, has kicked off its second round with 8 teams advancing from the various contest group stage. From Group A, Desert Warriors and Excel FC secured their spot, while Medical Strikers Fenders and Egungbumi FC made through from Group B. In Group C, Shakandam FC and Bakok Football Academy emerged successful, with Nima FC and Inspiration Sports FC advanced from Group D. This year's tournament, one of the most competitive in the league's 2-decade history, featured 26 teams drawn from Gwagwalada and the surrounding communities across the Federal Capital Territory. Over 75 matches were played in the opening round, drawing large crowd and highlighting the growing enthusiasm for grassroots football in the region. Speaking on the development, the chairman of the organizing committee, Patrick Wangwo, expressed his appreciation to all participating teams for their commitment and sportsmanship. He announced that the 8 qualified teams will be regrouped into 2 groups of 4, from which the top 2 in each group will qualify for the grand final. He says, "We are grateful to all 26 teams for their passion and participation. The Super 8 stage promises even more exciting moment for fans and players alike," Odogu said, adding that the date for Super 8 will be announced soon. As anticipation builds, local football fans are eager to see which team will lift the 2025 Gwagwalada Football League trophy in what has become one of the FCT's most vibrant community sporting events. And this is very particular, and this is just so interesting to see that players and goalkeepers alike are actually using their feet properly and taking good decisions in terms of, pushing attack and creating plays for teammates. So grassroots sport development is very, very key, and this is what Global Television has been advocating for. And also private partnership is also needed solely in terms of promoting grassroots football and also sporting activities generally. Thank you so much, Mr. Patrick, for all of the good things you're doing for the people of Gwagwalada, and we're hoping to see that this outreach and this competition keeps going further and further in providing and also improving sports development. This is what the country actually needs at this time. Moving on, Let's talk World Cup playoffs quickly, as a whole lot of talks are ongoing around the Nigerians. That's talking about the Super Eagles goalkeeping line, where for others, individuals, fans have intensified calls for the return of Okoye to replace Nwabali as Super Eagles' first choice goalkeeper. Now, let me bring you up to speed with the reports that says there are growing calls for Udaisi's goalkeeper Maduka Onyeka to replace Chippa United shortstopper Stanley Nwabali as Super Eagles' first choice goalkeeper ahead of Nigeria's 2026 FIFA World Cup playoffs next week. Nigeria will face Gabon in the first semi-final of the World Cup playoffs in Rabat, Morocco on Thursday, the 13th November. The winner of the encounter will take on the winner between Cameroon and the domestic Republic of Congo for a place in the intercontinental playoffs for the 2026 FIFA World Cup. But ahead of the World Cup playoffs, Nwabali's position as Nigeria's first choice goalkeeper is under threat following the impressive performance of Okoye. Nwabali has suffered criticism for his performance for the Super Eagles in recent matches. His form has been erratic, coupled with his judgment in high-pressure moments. Also, several on-the-field outbursts have only added to concerns about his temperament. The Chippa United goalkeeper has struggled in recent matches for the Super Eagles, and this is actually something that we should talk about. This is a concern as it stands now. Aside Eric Chill, managing the team, all right, we also need all the players' head in the game. That's everybody that will be playing as it stands. Everybody's head needs to be in the game. Yes, we saw the last two performances of Stanley Nwabali. For me, I wasn't impressed. Yes, the players did a lot. They curtailed the midfield, and defensive-wise, Kelvin Bassey was very, very instrumental and integral to the squad, which helped, which he helped in clearing a whole lot of, lines. And we don't know what would have happened if Kelvin Bassey wasn't on 100% when we needed him to be. Now, with Nwabali, yes, we saw what Nwabali did in AFCON. He was very instrumental. We saw how good he is. And he's still a very good goalkeeper, no doubt. But there is some concerns around Stanley Nwabali. Now, do we need Okoye to come back? Looking at his recent performance with his club side Udaisi's, I think he should be around. At least, even if he's not starting, but he should be on the bench just in case Nwabali sets in with his lack of judgment and also his temperament. You all saw him, almost when they played in Uyo against Benin Republic, him and Victor Osimhen almost had a brawl until, players stepped in to calm the both parties down. He took a whole lot of wrong decisions. We've seen Stanley Nwabali, will I say he's being overconfident? I don't know what to really tag his attitude right now, but I think there are some things that he is not doing right. Like he comes out of his 18-yard box and he doesn't communicate well with his defenders, and his lack of judgment affected Nigeria in the most recent last two games that we played. You all remember. So let's just see what would happen in the next couple of weeks, and if Okoye will be invited. Also, I think Eric should invite him, and given the fact that he's getting on form, picking up form, and then performing properly as we once knew him to be performing for his team, I think it's going to be an additional advantage if we have him in the Super Eagles squad, just in case Mr. Nwabali, start having misjudgments and all of that. Will have an excellent second choice goalkeeper. Or is the playoffs. It's very important that we qualify and defeat Gabon, and then it's going to be very key that we have all players whose mindset is set on winning and also advancing to the World Cup. So let's move on. Still talking about World Cup qualifiers. DR Congo, the Domestic Republic of Congo, named its squad for the World Cup playoffs. Head coach of the Democratic Republic of Congo national team, Sebastian Dasiberi, has named a 25-man squad for their 2026 FIFA World Cup qualifying playoffs in Morocco later this month. The Congolese will go up against Cameroon on November the 13th at the El Bayr Stadium in Rabat in one of the semi-finals of the 4-team playoffs, with the winner to take on either Nigeria or Gabon in the final 4 days. final 4 days later, that is presenting a chance for the winner to advance to the FIFA playoffs in Mexico next year. After emerging as the best second place team from the qualifying series, the teams were ranked and paired according to the FIFA rankings released on the 17th of October. Coach Dasibiri's strong squad has players from England, France, Spain, as well as areas of stars from other European countries, while Ferson Malia of Pyramids in Egypt is the only player based in Africa in the squad. The coach also extended an invitation to 3 starlets who have been capped at the youth level by Belgium. Now, they are built in, Congo is building depth, and depth of their squad to be able to, advance in the playoffs and also advance in the playoffs in Rabat, Morocco, and also make it through to Mexico for still the playoffs come next year. So we'll see how all of this will look at, and then what would turn out for the entire matchup that would be happening starting from the 13th of November 2025 in Morocco, hoping that the Super Eagles get to win their next 2 matches, because it's very, very crucial that the Super Eagles of Nigeria gets to qualify. But now they're ahead in the game to qualify. We will find out by next week. CAF unveils 2025-2026 group stage draw. Interestingly, Nigerians Rivers United and Zimbabwe's powerhouse Dynamos will compete in a compelling quest in Group A of the 2025-2026 CAF Championship League following Monday's official draw in Johannesburg. The draw conducted at the studios of CAF broadcast partners SuperSport produced several mouth-watering matchups, including a thrilling rematch between reigning champions Pyramid FC of Egypt and Moroccan giants RS Berkane. A star-studded lineup featuring 7 former African champions and the defending title holders promises one of the most competitive and high-quality group stages in the history of the competition. Group A headlining the narrative with a Maghreb reunion as Pyramid FC and RS Berkane, winners of last season's CAF Champions League and CAF Confederation Cup respectively, renewed their hostility after their CAF Super Cup clash, which Pyramid won 1-0. Record 12-time winners of Al-Ahly of Egypt anchored Group B, while they will face Tanzania's Young Africans, Moroccan champions as far and 2-time African champions JS Calvin in the pool stepped in history and rivalry. In the Group C, paired with paramount contenders Mamelodi, showdown of South Africa with Sudan's Al Hilal, Algeria's MC Alger, and DR Congo's St. Louis Lupin. All clubs with rich pedigree and passionate fans based on the both domestic sides. So we will see how this match day will be looking and how these individuals would, edge through and advance further. For Rivers Hoopers, we'll see how that will look out for them, because currently they are the only team, even the defending champions of the NPFL too, were trashed out dramatically by a 5-0 win, which was so shameful. Rivers United are the only Nigerian teams there, and then we will see how this will pan out for the side. So moving on now, yesterday we saw a bit of action where Everton and Sunderland had traded tackles, and this match settled for a 1-1 draw. Before we have that conversation and bring you the highlights, today, drum roll please, Champions League, UFC Champions League match day 4 is here, and Liverpool is set to host Real Madrid. Bayern Munich is set to face PSG, and a lot of other features to be coming up later today. We'll be having some early kickoff and also later kickoffs. Liverpool versus Real Madrid, a rivalry defined by glory and grief. From Kiev to Paris to Anfield's famous night. Last season, the Reds finally broke their curse. A 2-goal victory ending the 8-game winless run against Los Blocos now. Aaron Slotman set to return to Anfield, chasing a 16th straight European home win. And Anfield fortress roaring under the light. Mo Salah stands on the brink of greatness. 2 goals from becoming the first African player to reach 50 goals in Champions League across the pitch. A familiar face wears white now. Trent Alexander-Arnold, the sorcerer returned Galactico, faces hope for the first time since his trade. Madrid's own protege Jude Bellingham could rewrite history today at 22 years old and 128 days. He is set to become the youngest ever player to make 50 Champions League appearances, eclipsing Iker Casillas, and also the symbol of Real Madrid's golden past. It's not just a match, it's memory, emotion, and destiny colliding. And then the other matchup that we're expected to see today is PSG versus Bayern Munich. Paris have lost just 2 of their last 41 home Champions League group stage games, and it has been a very, very interesting matchup for them. And the Prince is again a fortress, but Bayern are serial conquerors with 13 wins in their last 15. With something to prove, while Lucas Hernandez meets his former team after switching red for blue. At the other end, Harry continues his European campaign and rampage with 11 goals in his latest 10 ULC appearance, while Joshua Kimmich eyes his 100th Champions League match for Bayern, joining legend Müller, Lahm, and Kane in the elite company. And also we'll see other actions where Villarreal will be taking on Pafoso and Quartersberg will be taking on Chelsea. This will be the early kickoffs. We're talking about Ajax to take on Galatasaray, Club Brugge versus Barcelona, Inter versus current Man City will be taking on Dortmund, Newcastle United will be taking on Athletic Club, Marseille also will be taking on Atlanta, while Benfica will be taking on Leverkusen. All of these actions will be seeing them today. Later today, we'll be having the early kickoffs where Chelsea will be starting off early today, and also we'll be seeing the likes of Villarreal also starting off early today. Ajax also will be starting off early. Club Brugge. All of these teams will be starting off early, and then they'll be starting off. The time is actually 6:30 p.m. Nigerian time. That is when all of these games, the early kickoffs will be starting, and that of Liverpool, Real Madrid, and Arsenal, Man City as well. All of those other matches will be coming up by 9 p.m. Nigerian time. So wherever you'll be staying to watch, always remember to stay safe. So moving on, Carabao Cup quarterfinals, features, dates, all of that has been confirmed quickly. The dates for the Carabao Cup quarterfinals features were confirmed last night, where Chelsea will travel to Cardiff City for the first time on December 16th, 2025. The next game will be taking place on Wednesday when Man City hosts Brentford at the Etihad Stadium. Kickoff time for both games will be 7 p.m. UK time. On the same night, Newcastle United will face Fulham at St. James Park with kickoff time at 8:15 p.m. And also, the final quarterfinal match has been scheduled for Tuesday the 23rd, with Arsenal hosting Crystal Palace at the Emirates Stadium. Newcastle are the current holders of the trophy, and then we will see if they will still be able to defend this championship. We saw some EPL actions yesterday, and I want to bring you a quick highlight between the game of Everton and Sunderland, as the game ended on a 1-1 draw. And talking about the Carabao Cup, we will see what team would advance all through to the final and, clinch the current title. Either Newcastle or probably Arsenal or Chelsea might just end up winning.